others. And Naina Lal Kidwai is with us, past President FICCI, Chairman Advent Private Equity. Always great to have you, Naina Lal Kidwai. Naina Lal Kidwai, let me just start first the same question to you as I've been asking the others. Just a kind of big picture take on this budget. Did you see anything that jumped out at you which you thought was new or interesting or exciting, or did you feel that this was very much a kind of status quo, play it safe budget?
Two in particular. One, of course, is just the scale of infrastructure spend and the journey on the capital funding that government itself is providing in infrastructure. And the second was the green agenda. If you think of some of the conversations we've had on before the budget, it was all around putting consumption and demand up and jobs. And if we look at the numbers as they come through, and I think you had said NREGA has actually seen a decline, and we were all hoping for increased spending in NREGA and maybe even an urban NREGA plan. It was on the face of it disappointing. However, if we really cut through it and we don't have all the detail, the ability to spend on infrastructure spend can in turn provide much needed jobs, rural, urban because of the housing and affordable housing plans that the government has, rural in the case of building of infrastructure at the rural level. And here I would just say that, roads can be very mechanized in the way they are built, particularly highways. But if infrastructure were to include sewage treatment plants, the STPs, the smaller sewage plants, the whole Har Ghar Ek Nal program is also part of a spend which can provide jobs. So cutting through government expenditure and infrastructure and looking at it all through the lens of, does it put consumption demand up? Does it create jobs in the areas that we would like? Would be quite critical, and not enough to just say, hey, NREGA has gone down and therefore not enough is being done. I think some of it could flow through depending on where it is spent in the infrastructure.
Right. So now we've actually started to go, because again, we've been, struggling a little bit with the absence of numbers read out by the FM in her speech. She did read out the big capital expenditure numbers which you talked about, which everyone has been praising the government on. But if you look at all the other heads, now we actually started to have gotten some of the numbers. This is my colleague Mariam who's done the analysis. So health is down, or sorry, I beg your pardon, health is fractionally up. This is, by the way, revised estimates of the last budget, the last financial year, which is actually in a sense the current financial year, with the budget estimates of this budget. So what the government has actually ended up spending, in the last budget versus what they're projected to spend. So health is just up by less than 1%. So 85,900 crores, and it's just gone up to 86,600 crores. Agriculture, again a very slight increase, 2.5% from 1.48 lakh crores, revised estimates of 21-22 to 1.5 lakh crores. Defense, again revised estimates 3.7 lakh crores, has gone up 5% to 3.9 lakh crores. Education has seen a heartening jump of 18% from 88,000 crores to 1 lakh crores. Rural development and NREGA, this is where there's been a dip. Rural development has come down fractionally from 2.07 lakh crores down to 2.06 lakh crores, and NREGA, the revised estimate was 98,000 crores, and that's now come down to 73,000 crores. So that's a 25% drop. So we're getting a little bit of an idea of, outside of infrastructure, where the government is spending or rather not spending. Looking at these numbers, Naina Lal Kidwai, I mean, obviously spending more on education is great, but not too much spending on health, on agriculture, rural development, and a big cut in NREGA. That's somewhat concerning.
It's concerning if you look at the individual items, but I think we have to look at the budget as a whole. So let me give you a number which is very heartening. So the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation and the Jal Shakti Mission, which is where I work, total revised budgets at 67,221 crores with a 32% increase from last year. And last year was a fourfold jump from the previous year. So in the programs, the government has done well. These are extremely critical in terms of delivery of water to each home, and now commitment to do, make sure that there's a tap in every home. And 3.8 crore households is their target. And government is achieving these rather tough targets. This is an increase. So if job employment gets created through projects such as these, as it would, it's a shift. I look to NREGA to fill some of these programs. If now it's allocated to the program, maybe it works as well. So I think it's a bit of a jigsaw, which we may have to look at. And it's quite possible that we will see rural jobs go up irrespective in NREGA if the CapEx budgets and some of these, the affordable housing projects, for example, will also create jobs, maybe more urban than rural, will all help in the right direction. So hard to really pass comment on the individual numbers, but on the face of it, yes, for a very highly successful scheme like NREGA to see a reduction is a little puzzling at this stage, given that we still have so much stress in the system.